we're hearing reports of an incident at the Agnian Tower.
Hey guys, Society Reviews here, my review of the film Cleaner. You would think that Hollywood would have learned its lesson by now, but perhaps it is us who needs to learn a lesson about Hollywood. It's safe to say about 6 years ago, moviegoers rejected Hollywood's push to feed them an endless supply of female-led action movies under the guise that audiences would be more accepting that action stars look more like them. Needless to say, after several failures such as Terminator Dark Fate, the Charlie's Angels reboot, Atomic Blonde, and dozens of others along the way, a reasonable individual would have said a long time ago it's time to move in a different direction. But that's how a reasonable person would think. When you're talking about an industry that is controlled by a handful of multinational, multi-billion-dollar corporations, there will never be a failure big enough for Hollywood to listen to its own audience. This leads us to actress Daisy Ridley, who is well known for the recent Disney Star Wars trilogy playing the character of Rey. Outside of Star Wars, however, things have not gone very smoothly in the career of Ridley, who has yet to find a single cinematic hit outside of the Disney-owned franchise. Most people listening to this probably didn't even know Ridley had her own action movie entitled The Cleaner that can best be described as Die Hard with a Woman. The film stars Ridley as the character of Joey, who's a borderline burnout that can't seem to get her life together. Joey struggles to take care of her autistic brother, who just got kicked out of another home after hacking to confidential files for the organization. With no options available and the possibility of losing her job, Joey has no choice but to bring her brother to her workplace as she is a high-rise window cleaner with a problem with authority. It just so happens that the night that Joey brings her brother, an environmental terrorist organization hijacks the building and threatens to kill everyone if they don't give in to their demands. Joey and her brother become the only two men on the inside, pun intended, who can prevent a mass casualty event. You don't need much evidence to figure out that the script for this film was originally written for a man, yet when Daisy Ridley became available for the film, the screenwriter decided to mass edit all the male pronouns out and keep everything the same. Cleaner is your typical run-of-the-mill low-budget action movie that is best served as a time filler for someone who's looking for a little over 90 minutes to kill. Daisy Ridley has struggled over the last several years to find her niche outside of Disney Star Wars. Ridley has tried her hand in action movies a few times, but with the exception of 2023's The March King's Daughter, she hasn't found much success critically or commercially. Ridley plays a foul-mouthed and hard-nosed ex-military soldier who was dishonorably discharged after quitting, thus has a reputation of not getting along well with others. There isn't much more to her character outside the fact that she's a woman leading an action movie. Clive Owen is in the film, but don't expect him to stick around too long because it's Taz Skylar who's over the top to the point of comical that does the heavy lifting for this film. With so little meat to this bone, for audiences, your enjoyment of this film is going to depend on what you're seeking to get out of this movie. As a paint-by-the-numbers action film, Cleaner is far from terrible, but it's also far from gripping. Cleaner is too straightforward and doesn't offer you anything that you haven't seen before, but if you're just looking for content, there are worse films out there to watch. Director Martin Campbell has seen better movies since directing films such as The Protégé and The Foreigner. Cleaner is a film that suffers from very basic screenwriting, which makes it a hard sell for a majority that have never heard of this movie. As for Daisy Ridley's career outside of Star Wars, to put it simply, another one bites the dust. I give this film a 2.5 out of 5.
You want to hang this whole operation on a window cleaner who couldn't hack the army?